Good morning from Riga, the capital city of Latvia. My name is Claire and this is my travel channel Claire's Footsteps. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you're well. I'm running a little bit late. I've just been putting the finishing touches to my Vilnius vlog. I spent the entire 4-hour bus journey yesterday, plus an hour when I got in, and plus 2 hours this morning editing it. So if you have a chance to, after you've watched this video, please do check that one out as well. I really liked it, so hopefully you will too. But I am off on a Riga walking tour. So I always try and do these when I get to a new city because I think they are the best way to learn about a city and just get a good grounding and work out what to do for the rest of your time there. So it's alright, I'm not running late, but I do want to grab a coffee and something to eat en route as I haven't had any breakfast yet. So I'm just going to get ready and go now, and yeah, I'll catch up with you in a moment. Highs of -4 today, so I'm gonna need that. And I've only got my trainers. I didn't even bring any winter boots. I'm such an idiot.
Destinations where the crusade is going, right? One is going for the Holy Land.
Hello, I'm back in the hotel. We actually finished the walking tour not very far from the hotel at all, so I came back here just to warm up and sort out my plans because I was a little bit unsure about where to go. The walking tour was really good, really interesting. Some similar history to Lithuania, but also some very different history as well, because Riga is a lot closer to the coast. It's been much more of a kind of shipping city over the years. So very brief history of Riga is that the Germans first came here, and actually the Germans were here for 750 years, but not always kind of in power. And at times they were part of the Russian Empire. They were also governed by Sweden for 100 years. So there were a lot of people coming in and out. And nowadays you can really see that reflected in the architecture of the city. Like, it's a real patchwork of different styles. It's not like sort of one uniform thing. There's buildings from all different eras. And the guide actually said there's a local legend that says that once the city is finished, it will fall into the river. And they don't want that, so they just keep updating the city, basically. He pointed out a building that was only built last year, and he was like, yeah, buildings are still being built. So yeah, apparently they just keep updating the buildings because they don't want it to fall into the river, which is fair enough. Similar history to Lithuania in terms of World War II and the latter half of the 20th century. So it was occupied by Russians, and then it was occupied by Germans during the Second World War, and obviously a lot of very horrific things happened during that time. And then it was again occupied by Soviets for another 40 years. Was part of the Baltic Way, which was when 2 million people in Lithuania, Latvia and Estonia all lined up holding hands, and that was a call for solidarity, and that sort of stating how they as 3 nations wanted independence, and they all wanted to be 3 separate nations. And actually the guide that we had was in this line of people. He was only 5 years old at the time, but he was in the line. Yeah, again, similar to Lithuania, it's sort of developed a lot since it became independent. Quite high tech now. And yeah, no, it's a nice city. It is different to Vilnius, as in, you know, the old town seems less contained, I guess. Like, it's more spread out, and there are loads and loads of different buildings, some really beautiful buildings. They're sort of a bit more scattered throughout the city. So I am going to head to a lunch place now, and I'll check out a few places along the way. I think there's the Independence Monument that I want to see, and the walk to the lunch place is about 20 minutes. It goes through a park. I've just spent a while sort of sussing out where to go, but it does seem most of the good places for lunch are about a 20-minute walk away from here. So I'm going to put on an extra pair of socks and hopefully that will keep me warm enough. So the plan is lunch, gonna walk through the park and see all the sites sort of on the way and on the way back, and then I'm going to visit the Occupation Museum. I know I went to one in Vilnius, if you've seen my Vilnius video, but I am quite interested in that period of history, so it'll be interesting to see how it compares. And then I hope it should be getting dark around then, so I'm going to head back to the Christmas markets, get some dumplings for dinner, and then I'm going to come back and go to a spa. I will keep you updated. I'm going to, put on another pair of socks now, and hopefully my feet won't freeze, but I know that I'll be getting to a nice warm cafe at the end of it, so that's good. I am layered up once again and ready to face the elements. It's 23 minutes to where I'm going for lunch, but should see some stuff en route. Behind me is the Latvian Independence Monument. It was unveiled in 1935 to commemorate the fallen soldiers who struggled during the fight for independence from 1918 to 1920. Of course, shortly after it was unveiled, Latvia became non-independent again. I cannot believe how snowy it is here. Like, ski resorts aside, this is one of the snowiest places I've ever been to. I thought it was snowy in Vilnius. It is way more snowy here. And it's strange, I thought it would be a little bit warmer here because we're much closer to the coast, but it feels colder. I think it is about -4 degrees right now. So unfortunately the place where I was going to go for lunch was completely full, but I did see on the map there was a bagel restaurant. Was it Bagel Boys, I think it was called, which I had seen had been highly recommended. So I ended up going in there and it was really delicious. They had loads of different bagels, vegetarian options, vegan options. So I had a vegan Athenian bagel with vegan feta, sun-dried tomatoes, a few other things. It was very tasty. And I also had a smoothie just because I felt like I needed something a bit extra because I didn't really have much breakfast. So I had a kind of banana and peanut butter smoothie, which was also very tasty. I might walk down and back into the old city and get a coffee because there was a cafe which was very highly recommended for its coffee from the tour guide, so I might go and check that out as well. Now I am just walking towards the Riga Nativity of Christ Orthodox Church. This is a Russian Orthodox church. It looks very similar to all of the churches in Georgia. Latvia has a real mix of different churches and religious buildings, which is a nod to its sort of mix of cultures over the years. But actually its main religion is Lutheran, which is interesting because Lithuania's was Catholic. But the guide did say today that only about 30% of Latvians consider themselves religious, and of those 30%, not that many people actually go to church. So this building is very, very beautiful. It's got a glass domed roof and really ornate detailing. I think you can go in, so I might go and investigate that, although I don't think you can take any photos inside. Oh nice, in front of this cathedral there is another small little Christmas market. This isn't the main Christmas market of Riga, I'll be going to that later, but I'll just have a quick look around this one now. I also just had the most ridiculous realisation. I've got this spa booked at 7, I've not got a swimming costume. I just realised I just didn't pack one. Why would I have packed one? So I found a H&M not too far from where I'm going next, so I'm going to have to go there and hopefully they'll have one for not too expensive. So I've come out to this square where you can see more of the new side of the city, and then sort of this backs onto the old city. So I feel the same now as I felt when I came out of the prison in Vilnius. It's just very, very sad history, and it's a similar story. The Soviets were here from 38 or 39 until 41, and then after that German forces invaded. They were here for 3 years, and then the Soviets came back and were here for 40 years. And you just think, 50 years, 45 years I think the Soviets must have been here for, 50 years of just brutal dictatorship, and just so many horrific things happened. And yeah, and nowadays, I mean, it's such a peaceful, modern country. And you think that wasn't even that long ago. You know, that was just before I was born. They got independence. Yeah, very heavy, but there's a lot of tales of hope and heroism as well. So yeah, heavy history, but important to learn about, and also important to sort of look at the resilience, I guess. I'm gonna just head back to my hotel quickly just to put a couple more layers on, I think, and then I'm gonna head out to the Christmas markets for a couple of hours before my spa tonight. There are these exhibitions outside as well, which are obviously free because they're outside, so even if you don't want to do the full museum, as long as these are, I'm not sure if these are permanent or not, but you could come down here and see if these are still here because there's some information on these as well. Alright, speedy turnaround. I've put an extra layer on and now I'm going to go and check out Riga's Christmas markets. Okay, whatever you're doing, I highly recommend that you stop, go on Skyscanner and book tickets to Riga to go to the Christmas market, either this Christmas or next Christmas. This was incredible. It's not the biggest Christmas market and it's not like it's got loads and loads of attractions, but it literally felt like I'd stumbled upon Santa's Christmas wonderland. I don't know what it was the lights, the decorations, there was such a variety of things to do and things to see. People made so much of an effort with their stalls. There was some really different food to try, not your usual Christmas market food. There was mulled everything, not just mulled wine, there was mulled gin, mulled gingerbread wine, mulled balsam, which is the Latvian spirit. It was all underneath the shadow of this beautiful 13th century church, and oh my goodness, it was just magical. I've never felt that sort of real magic of a Christmas market like that before. This is mesmerising. I feel like I'm in a Christmas film, and this is like an enchanted Christmas village. This is incredible. I was here for about an hour and a half, which was just about enough time. I had 2 servings of polemi, which are the dumplings, just because they were so good. Had 2 glasses of mulled wine, had one of the ones that was infused with gingerbread, and just had a little look around the stalls. There was some good shopping as well. I didn't have any space in my bag, unfortunately, so I couldn't buy anything to take home. That Christmas market was phenomenal. Hopefully I've explained it all in the voiceover because I have to get to the spa now. Another quick turnaround, but at least the spa is all about relaxing. So I'm going to go chill out in the spa for a bit because it's been a busy few days. The spa was good. Not a very big spa. The jacuzzi wasn't very warm. The jacuzzi was only 34 degrees and I like a 40 degree plus jacuzzi really. But yeah, that wasn't mine. There was a steam room and a sauna, and it was a nice little space. It was quite small, but it was nice to have, and nice and relaxing and warm. So that's always good. I'm going to go to sleep now, but I will catch up in the morning. Got until 4 p.m. tomorrow, so we'll say 3:30 p.m. tomorrow when I've got my bus to Tallinn. So there's still plenty of time to get around, see what not. I've got 2 things on my list, and then I think I might try and go back to the Christmas market if I've got time, just because it was just so magical. It was just so lovely. So yeah, I might try and swing back there again. We'll see where the day takes me. Anyway, I'm going to go to sleep now because it is past my bedtime and I'm tired. Good night. Good morning. Oh, I woke up feeling the slightest bit coldy this morning, but I don't actually think it is a cold. I think it's just the cold air. But I'm just about to head out to get breakfast, so I'm going to go to This Place Doesn't Need a Name, which has come highly recommended in a few Riga guides I've read. So let's go see what this is all about. There are a couple of branches of this cafe in Riga, and I started walking to one, but then I realised the walk to the other one was shorter and a much more scenic route, so I turned around, walked back through the old town, and look how Christmassy this cafe was. The pancakes were delicious and the festive vibes were absolutely on point. Breakfast was great, and now I've come to the Riga Central Market. Now, one thing I'll say is that if you've forgotten your coat and you're in the Baltics, come here. There are a few shops open on the inside. Actually, quite a few of them seem to be boarded up or closed at the moment, but they're mainly selling coats. So you can see what the demand's for. But there are some other items on offer, like fluffy socks, ornaments, Christmas tree decorations. So if you do want to do some shopping, you might be able to find something here. This is the largest market in Europe, and I think it's definitely a nod to Latvia's Soviet heritage, where it was a lot more connected to countries in Central Asia, which were also Soviet, and through that it's also connected to the Silk Road. It certainly has more of a kind of bazaar feel that you'll find in a lot of those countries in Asia. It's set inside this huge warehouse, and there's an outdoor area as well, which I will go and check out in a minute. I just had to come in here and warm up first. Oh, okay, I was thinking this market's big, but not that big. But actually there's a whole other section. Okay, yeah, this market's huge. I'm now off to the vegetables pavilion. Let's see what's upstairs. This feels like a homeware store. I'm braving the outside. That was very, very interesting. It was like 3 or 4, I think, interconnecting warehouses, and they all had slightly different stuff in. The first one was non-food items, which was mainly coats and gifts. And then the second one was non-perishable food items, or things like dried fruits, cheeses, which are perishable, I guess. And there was also a very small food court as well. And then the next one was fruits and vegetables and fish, largely. And there were lots of other things interspersed there as well. But I could definitely see the other Soviet country influence there. I saw CHRISTMASSY is the Georgian sweets that are made out of nuts. Which nuts are they made out of? I'm not too sure, but they're made out of nuts and like a kind of a sweet glaze. And I also saw samosas, which are very popular in Central Asia, and Uzbek bread. So you can definitely see that kind of influence there, and I guess, yeah, I mean, it's very obvious why that is like that. And due to Latvia's position, it was connected to the Silk Road, so you can kind of see, like, it felt quite like a Silk Road bazaar. The river is frozen. It looks so cold, and I'm frozen as well, so let's head back to the hotel and warm up for a minute. We've not done a hotel tour yet, have we? Here you go. Hello, it is Claire from the past here. I have just arrived into Riga and just checked into the Welton Hotel and Spa. So I thought I would just do a quick room tour now while everything is still made up, and then I'll send you back to Claire from the future, who I'm sure, well, I'm hoping looks a lot less tired than I do look right now. I just got off the 4-hour bus from Vilnius. So, slightly different vibes in this hotel to my one in Vilnius, if you've watched my Vilnius vlog as well. This hotel feels more, I don't want to say old-fashioned, but more like traditional, I guess. It's a 4-star hotel. It's a nice room. It's a good size. But yeah, it doesn't quite have that like hip, modern feeling that the actually hotel in Vilnius and the hotel I stayed at in Wrocław as well had. But it's good to have a bit of variety. So let's start from the beginning. So going in from here, pretty standard. You have a big mirror here. Hello. Space to hang things, and a baggage stall, is that called? Then just behind me there is a desk, fairly good sizable work desk, which will be good for editing my video. Tea and coffee making facilities, and a minibar. Items in the minibar are sadly not included. Then we have the bed. They seem to do the double duvets here, which is what they did in Norway. Ooh. A little bit firmer than other beds, a little bit firmer than my usual preference, but some people do prefer a firmer bed. It's definitely not uncomfortable, but it just is a little bit firm. We have plugs by the bed and lights by the bed and a bedside table, and then we have this rather intriguing artwork on the walls. Interesting. There's a wardrobe here. Oh, and an ironing board and an iron. So yeah, plenty of space, plenty of storage. Now let's check out the bathroom. One thing that I was very happy to see in here was a bath. Woohoo! And then we've got toilet, sink, toiletries, hairdryer, mirror, and a towel roll. I'm on the first floor, which is only just up from the ground floor. It's kind of like a semi-half floor. So I've got a window here which overlooks right onto the pavement. I mean, it's a lovely little snowy atmosphere, but I will have to remember that that opens right onto the pavement. Now, a huge perk of this hotel is that it's so close to the bus station. Before, I was a 15-minute drive from the bus station. Here, I'm a 5-minute walk from the bus station, so that makes life so much easier. It's also walking distance to most of Riga's main attractions, including where I'm meeting my walking tour guide tomorrow morning. That's only a 7-minute walk away. So that's pretty dreamy after having to get bolts everywhere in Vilnius. I don't think I will need to use taxis at all here. Also means I probably won't set up the bus system here. Sorry about that. Another big perk to booking this hotel, and actually it's why I booked the hotel, is it has a spa. I did actually think the spa was included, but I was just told that it wasn't included, but it's only 15 euros, and I've booked a 2-hour spa session for tomorrow evening, so that is going to be lovely. So I think that is pretty much everything for this hotel review. So far it seems decent. I'll let you know if anything changes. Yeah, pretty standard 4-star hotel, but also pretty, nice enough, decent enough. And this cost me 110 euros for 2 nights, so 55 euros a night. It doesn't include breakfast. Breakfast is an 18 euro surcharge, so I think I'll go elsewhere. Anyway, I'll send you back to Claire from the present now, and hopefully she's looking a bit perkier because I'm feeling knackered. It is 12:01 and I was meant to check out a minute ago, so I need to pack and check out. Oops, I've just been recording another YouTube video and for another Vlogmas video, so I need to pack up quickly and then head out again. I've lost one glove. This is not good. You can't explore the Baltics with only one glove. Where is it? I found my gloves, it was all good, and then I grabbed a coffee, had a little walk through the old town and went to the House of the Blackheads. The Brotherhood of the Blackheads was an association established in Riga in the 14th century. The men in this association were largely unmarried ship owners and merchants. They travelled a lot, but this was their headquarters in Riga. They had a big influence on Riga's cultural scene throughout the centuries. This building was demolished by the Soviets, but then it was meticulously rebuilt in 1990. So only the basements are the original area, but you can visit to see the kind of renovations of it, and you can go down into the basements as well, although they were sadly mostly closed when I was there because something was being filmed there. It was €7 to come in here, and it is nice, but it was a shame the basements were shut, but they're not opening until I'm actually leaving Riga, so. This square was where the first ever Christmas tree was set up as well. So I've come to this restaurant called Lido, or Lido, and there's a few of these dotted around Riga, and they do sort of traditional Latvian food, a few twists on it I think, but they are very cheap. They're buffet restaurants and they seem very popular with locals. So I've got some sort of sweet potato soup, and I think also sweet potato and cauliflower kind of ragu thing, and a cheese pancake. And it all came to like €6, so that's very, very good value. And I might actually grab something to take away from my bus as well, but I was glad I got to check this out. It was a recommendation from my boyfriend actually, who's been here before, and yeah, he said it was really good for sort of cheap eats in Riga city centre. I'll put the location of this one below, but there's quite a few dotted all over the city centre. Do you know, I absolutely loved Vilnius. I think it's like become one of my favourite European cities, but I think Riga wins on the Christmassy front. It does, like, Vilnius felt very Christmassy, don't get me wrong, but Riga just feels like I feel like I'm in Christmas Wonderland. So yeah, no, incredible place. The snow definitely adds to it, but while you're never guaranteed snow, I think it's fairly probable. But yeah, the Christmas vibes are on point here. Anyway, I'm just walking back to my hotel now. I enjoyed my lunch. Even though I've only just eaten, I think I'm going to grab a bagel for the coach because I don't get into Tallinn until 8:30 p.m. tonight. So I might get hungry like later on the bus journey, and I can't be bothered to faff around with trying to find something when I first get to Tallinn. So I guess that concludes this video. Yeah, I really enjoyed Riga. Like I say, I do think Vilnius did slightly have the edge on like it being a city, but actually I do think the Christmas vibes here are better, but it's definitely worth checking both of them out. I mean, there's a lot of similarities, but there's also a lot of differences as well. And I'm very intrigued to see what Tallinn will be like, because I have heard that out of the three it is the most Christmassy. So yeah, do stay tuned. That will be my next video. Oh no, it won't actually. I've got a special extra video next, which I'll detail very soon. So thank you so much for watching this video. I'm going to go get a bagel and then warm up a bit more, which has been a bit of a theme on this video. So thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.